Accessories are usually an afterthought for me, but what if they were the starting point? I'm somebody who struggles with accessorizing. I'm not a big jewelry person. I stick to the same jewelry every day. And so in the past, it's felt like there hasn't been a lot of accessories that felt in line with my personal style. But within the last few months, I've discovered that accessories can make an outfit feel really intentional. And I think the fact that I think about accessories last has been affecting my outfits negatively instead of thinking about accessories while I'm choosing the composition of the outfit. For today's video, I thought it would be fun to build on my accessorizing muscles while creating outfits that I could wear day to day, starting with accessories. I think number one, this will help me to build up my skills when it comes to accessorizing. Second, I think it will help me create more interesting outfits with the accessories that I have within my wardrobe. And three, I think it'll make me feel more confident in using accessories in my day-to-day outfits. So now let's get started with the first accessory. So we're starting off on level easy with this bandana. This is a bandana that I've had for about a year now, and I love it. Look how pretty it is. I even unfurled it for you guys. This is from the brand Dye Queen. It has cream in it, orange, yellows, and greens. And so it works really well with the colors that are already in my wardrobe. And I've styled this in a lot of ways already, but I want to style it in a different way today. When I think about the outfits that I've made in the past with this, I think I'm more drawn to an outfit where the top is a little bit of a darker color so that it has contrast with the bandana. Because when I style this with a lighter top, I feel like it blends in more with the bandana and the overall top of the outfit feels a little bit too light. With the idea of contrast in mind, I went for this quince sweater. This is in the color Redwood Brown. I feel like it creates that contrast that I'm looking for, but it also feels like this color works well with the other colors that are in the bandana as well. Next, I added this pair of overalls from Quince. I love how the green looks alongside the redwood brown, and I feel like it ties back to the green in the bandana. And then for shoes, I just added a neutral brown Blundstone Chelsea boot to let the rest of the outfit sort of be the star, and this is just a neutral shoe that gets to be a supporting part of the outfit. So when it comes to this outfit, I think what really has come to light in terms of styling this bandana is I like a contrasting top to go along with it, which is something that I sort of had an idea about before I created this outfit, but this really drills that point home. I think that it also adds a pop of print. I think this outfit would feel boring without the bandana, and I think that's really important to note is like, if I'm feeling like a top and a bottom are feeling kind of plain or simple, an accessory, particularly a printed accessory, can really make a huge difference in the outfit. So that is the outfit for the first accessory. Now let's move on to accessory number two. So for the next accessory, we have this scrunchie. I just started getting into scrunchies within the last couple of years, and I actually made this one from scraps from another sewing project. And so I have never styled a printed scrunchie like this, but I think it's gonna add a lot more options within my wardrobe. So my first thought when it comes to styling this scrunchie is to lean into the colors that are already in here. So we have the white, the green, and the orange. And so I think I'm gonna lean into those with the outfit. And I also need to think about how I'm gonna style the scrunchie within my hair. Is it gonna be a ponytail? Is it gonna be a bun? Like, what is that gonna look like? And how is that gonna relate to the outfit itself? Okay, I know this is a lot of green, but this is obviously not the outfit. I have put the scrunchie in my hair. I ended up doing a bun and then pulling down my like bangs and a little couple other pieces. And then I threw on this J. Crew mock neck. I think this green looks so good with the green in the scrunchie, and I think because the scrunchie is overall very light, having something dark will kind of balance it out. And then I just need to figure out the bottoms and the accessories. Again, I think I'm gonna go for the colors that are sort of in the scrunchie and then added neutrals as well. So I decided to add these pants because, again, I wanted to follow the colors that were in the scrunchie. I think that's kind of a fun styling tool that I use when I'm not sure where to go with something. So I went for these big bed press trousers that I actually dyed myself to be this color. And then I did end up going with neutral accessories just because there is so much like matchy-matchy kind of whimsical color play happening here. The green and the orange is like really playful, fun color combination. So I just want that to be the star along with the scrunchie. And so I went for my neutral loft belt, and these are the Madewell Brady boots. And I really like this. I think with the scrunchie particularly, I'm learning that printed accessories are really important to me. I've been wearing a lot of solid scrunchies up until this point, and they just sort of feel like a regular old hair tie, but adding in a little bit of print somewhere just makes an outfit feel more fun to me. And so that's something that I feel like I really need to take with me going forward, is like really considering adding more print within my wardrobe in terms of clothing itself, as well as within accessories, whether that's layering pieces like vests or accessories in terms of bandanas or hair accessories or whatnot. Just really allows me to make an outfit that I would consider more basic and simple into something that feels more intentional and complete. So with that, this is outfit number 2. So let's move on to accessory number 3. All right, next accessory, we have this collar pin. This is from Free People. I'll link it down below if they still sell it. I just think it's so stinking cute with the little hands, and it's in this like antique brass, and I love the chain. This really speaks to my soul, and it feels just like whimsical and fun, and so I'm excited to style it. I've styled these a couple times, but I want to come up with more outfits to style them with so that I have a wide variety of options to wear with this really fun accessory. So my hair is a little bit wild after taking out that bun, so just ignore it. But the first thing that I thought of when I was deciding what to style with the collar pins is obviously I need something with a collar. And so I went for this J.W. Anderson Uniqlo dress. I really like how this looks together, but I definitely feel like it needs something else. I think if I had some really fun, like knee-high, colorful boots, I could just wear that as my full outfit. But I feel like I want to add another layer here and create some interesting layering with the collar pins and the dress. So layer something over the dress, but then have the chain of the collar pin be laying over the top to create a little bit more dimension within the layering. I had to wet my hair because it was getting out of control, but I did end up layering this sweatshirt that I thrifted over the dress with the collar pins. And as you can see, the collar peeks out the top as well as the collar pins. And I just think it makes a really interesting dimensional thing going on in the neckline area. I just think it makes the whole outfit feel way more interesting than if I just had the sweatshirt layered over the dress. And I just think it makes it feel a lot more like whimsical and fun just with the collar pin detail. So I finished off the look with my Doc Marten slingback clogs and these Bomba socks. And I think the socks link back to the mustard in the graphic of my sweatshirt. And then the green, I think, is just another color to add to like the depth and like groundedness of the outfit. I think this dress is such a pure white that I want to have a lot of darker, more saturated colors to balance it out, as well as it's very like light and cottony. So adding the clogs adds like a heaviness to the outfit that I feel like balances out the light element in the dress. When it comes to these collar pins, I feel like I underestimated the impact such a small piece could have within an outfit. I feel like I sort of look at them and I'll choose something else because I want a bigger impact. But now with this outfit, I feel like they are making a big impact. They are kind of changing the overall aesthetic of the outfit. And I think that's something I need to keep in mind going forward, is like, just because they're a small detail doesn't mean they're not going to make a big impact on the outfit. So with that, that is outfit number 3. Let's move on to the 4th accessory. The next accessory that we are going to tackle are socks. And if you've been following my channel for a while, you know I love using socks as part of the outfit. But I still will generally think about them as an afterthought. I'll have created the outfit and I'll be like, what socks do I need to put with this to support the outfit that I've already created, instead of starting with the socks and having them sort of be the main component of the outfit. So I ended up choosing these red pointel socks from Bombas because I think something about a red sock really just feels like a pop in an outfit. I don't have a lot of red in my wardrobe, so it feels like it has the potential to be the star of the outfit. And so that is what we were starting with. And then my first thought in terms of styling these socks is contrast. I want these to pop against the rest of the outfit, so I definitely want to lean into darker tones, so these really are the first thing that the eye goes to in the outfit. So when I was originally thinking about styling these socks, this is where my mind went, doing something super dark and then letting the socks be the pop, because I've done something similar to this in the past where I used a red sock and a navy bottom and it looked really good together, but you're really not getting credit for the socks with these pants, and just the overall look just isn't giving me what I'm looking for. So I'm gonna pivot my strategy and try something else. So ketchup and mustard is a color combination that I really love within my wardrobe. So I decided to go there in terms of how I want to approach styling these socks. And I really like what's happening. I even like the navy sweater with this. I think I might add like a t-shirt underneath just to add some layering and add a little bit of neutral to this outfit. And I like where this is going because the socks feel like an important part of the outfit. They feel like they are part of the color combination. It doesn't just feel like something I threw on at the end. And that's something that I really wanted to tackle. All right, so I added the t-shirt. I also added shoes to this outfit. I think with so many colors going on, it's nice to have a neutral somewhere in the outfit. I love to add brown in personally, and so I went for my T-strap Mary Janes, not only because they're just like a deep saturated brown, but also because you get to just see more of the sock. And so I think it's the perfect addition to this outfit. And I think what I'm learning from this specific outfit is that I can create interesting color combinations just by adding a sock. It doesn't have to be like a really interesting printed bottom and a really interesting printed top, or like, you know, a vest and a top. It doesn't have to be, the interesting color combination doesn't have to be within the base outfit. I can use the accessories to be a big part of the overall outfit. And I think that's something that is like a light bulb moment for me in terms of putting together outfits and making even more out of my wardrobe. Because even like 6 months ago, I feel like I wouldn't have put this outfit together and I wouldn't have believed that just adding a red sock to it would make it feel more complete and more in line with my personal style and like an intentional outfit. And that's how I feel right now. So with that, that is outfit number 4. Let's talk about the 5th accessory. So we have this brooch, and I picked this up like late 2024, I think, at a vintage market. And I didn't really have any plans for it then. I just thought it was really beautiful. And I had just sort of put it on a coat and worn it with the coat because I thought it dressed up the coat. So this will be my first time actually styling this with an outfit. And so I'm really excited to tackle that today. I think my first instinct when it comes to styling this is to put it with something with a collar, with a lapel, like the coat that I had it styled with, because I really want this to shine. And I just don't think I have enough styling experience or accessories experience to be able to like pick a blouse or a sweater to put this one single brooch on. I feel like a lot of people have multiple brooches and do like a little brooch, you know, collage on a sweater, and that looks really good. But for one single brooch, I think it's gotta be a lapel for me. So I'm gonna grab some pieces and show you where the outfit is. Okay, so for the brooch, I ended up going for this thrifted blazer. I think it's originally from White Stag. It's in this like really pretty green and blue and black plaid. And I just did my Phoebe Bridgers t-shirt underneath because I wanted there to be a contrast between the dark plaid of the jacket and then the light underlayer of the t-shirt. And then in terms of styling with the brooch, it's kind of funny because I was like, oh, great, I'm gonna put it on the lapel, easy. And then when I placed it, I moved it like 3 times on the lapel because I didn't know where to put it. I kind of like froze. I was like, I don't know, what does this look weird? Does that look weird? I think there is something to be said about having a couple brooches to make it look a little bit more like playful instead of like, here is my brooch on my jacket. So that was kind of funny. I ended up choosing like sort of off center on the left side of my lapel. And then it's particularly funny because then I was putting my microphone on so I could record this part, and I was like, oh, that's exactly where I'd put my microphone. So I put my microphone a bit lower. And so I thought that was pretty interesting as well. So that's where we are in terms of the outfit. So I do want to change out the bottoms and my shoes. I just wanted to show you sort of the thought process, which was jacket to go with the brooch because I wanted a lapel, and then deciding what t-shirt would go underneath the blazer. So now we're gonna do pants and shoes and keep this outfit going. Okay, so for the pants, I added my loft belt, my big bud press pants in espresso brown, and then these Sam Edelman RE ballet flats just to add a little bit more delicateness to this outfit. I feel like it's very structured and then also has some casual elements. And I just wanted to add a little bit more of like a delicateness to the outfit, a bit of softness. And so I thought that flat would be a good addition. And so the thing that I'm thinking about in terms of this outfit and this accessory is that I think it does add something to the outfit, but I think it would make a bigger impact, the impact that I'm looking for when it comes to accessories, if there was a couple, like maybe like 3 or 5 brooches. And then it would feel more like a whimsical element to the outfit as opposed to just a little brooch moment. It just doesn't feel as impactful as I would want my accessory to be. Like if I'm thinking about all the other accessories that I have styled in today's video versus this one, I definitely see that the other accessories are just really important within the outfit and they're making an impact and they're adding to the aesthetic. And I just feel like the brooch is sort of just there. So I feel like that's a really important learning. Like I want my accessories to be impactful and I want them to contribute to the overall aesthetic of the outfit. So with that, that is outfit number 5, and let's move on to the final accessory. So the final accessory is this bolo tie, and I have sort of had my eye on a bolo tie for a while now. They have obviously come back in popularity, but even before that, I was like, oh, that's kind of fun. Having a neck accessory that isn't a necklace really excites me because, like I said, I'm not a big jewelry person. So being able to go for a bandana or a collar pin or a bolo tie feels really exciting for me and my style because I'm able to accessorize in a different way. And this bolo tie has really fit into my wardrobe really well. Every time I decide to add it to an outfit, I like the outfit like a lot better. And so I want to keep that sort of energy going with today's outfit and try and put something together that I never have before with this bolo tie. So up to this point, I've only styled this bolo tie with solid button-down tops. And so I thought it'd be fun to try it with a printed style. I think you still get a lot of bang for your buck in terms of the bolo tie standing out against the print. Obviously, there's a lot more going on, but I think you still get to see like the bolo elements, the leather ties, the little metal pins at the bottom, as well as like the details within the bolo itself. And I think that makes just this top by itself feel a lot more interesting. So this unique little shirt was feeling a little bit Western with the bolo tie, and so I wanted to add something modern to the bottom to balance out that aesthetic. And so I added the Karen Britchick, the drop midi skirt. It has this asymmetrical hem. It's very clean lines. It's got some like pockets and stuff. So I feel like it does that and gives me the balance that I'm looking for. And then I just finished off the look with my T-strap Mary Janes from Sam Edelman with a sock from Bombas. I think that it adds a little bit more of a polished like academia aesthetic to the outfit as opposed to if I had added maybe a boot, it might have leaned a little bit more of that like utility Western element. So I really wanted to create that balance and not go too Western because that's not really what I wanted out of this outfit. I wanted to feel like a mix of a lot of different aesthetics to make it feel like me. And so this is what I ended up with. And so what that's taught me about the bolo tie itself is like it does carry an aesthetic in itself. It has like that worn leather, the like brushed antique metal, and the floral element kind of gives it like a natural, more like Western utility, like worn in kind of element to an outfit. So I need to keep that in mind in terms of the rest of the details in the outfit to make sure whatever I pair it with, it still feels balanced even with those additional aesthetics and details just within the bolo itself. So I think what these outfits have taught me is even though accessories are a smaller part of the outfit percentage-wise, that they can make a really big impact. And I think that's something that a lot of people have said for a really long time, but putting it into practice and seeing it for myself has been a really big realization for me. I think I would always just do it last because I'm like, oh, it's a little tiny thing. It's not really going to change how I feel about the outfit. But in reality, incorporating it in the process of putting together an outfit made a really big difference on how the outfit turned out and how I felt about the outfit in the end. I think that a lot of times I'll put together an outfit and I'll decide that I don't like it because I don't like the top and the bottom together. But I think going forward, after what I've learned in this video, I will see what accessories I can add to that outfit before I decide that it's getting nixed and I need to try something else. And I would even maybe start with an accessory when building my outfits going forward, because I think it made a really big difference. It helped me create a lot of different outfits that I wouldn't otherwise have put together. And I think that it also allowed me to pair pieces together that I would have felt in the past were boring. They felt like a complete outfit with the addition of the accessories. I think the accessory and the outfit that surprised me the most with this process were the collar pins and the dress sweatshirt outfit. That dress has been very challenging for me to style in the past because by itself, it feels a bit boring, and so I've struggled to layer things with it. I found a couple things that I like layering with it, and I think the collar pins lent itself to those layering techniques for this outfit specifically, but I also feel like the collar pins could help me style that dress by itself in the future, because I think the collar pins actually make a bigger impact on the overall outfit and the look of that dress more than I thought they did. And that's really exciting to me because I really like that dress, and I've kind of felt guilty about hanging on to it because I do struggle to style it, but I think accessories could be the solution to that problem. I think after doing this video, accessories definitely should not be an afterthought when putting together an outfit. I'm definitely going to take a different approach when it comes to styling accessories within my outfits and also investing more in accessories. I definitely have a small but mighty accessories collection when it comes to things outside of like jewelry. And so I definitely want to obviously be intentional, but use some of my 20 items during my low buy year to add to my accessories collection. Do you like to style your outfits with accessories outside of jewelry and handbags? I would love to know what your out of the ordinary accessories are. Like I said, I'm looking to expand the accessories that I have within my wardrobe, so I would love to hear any recommendations that you guys have and how you use accessories to make your outfits feel more intentional. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to give it a thumbs up so I know to make more videos like this. I love making videos all about personal style and making the most out of your wardrobe. So if you don't want to miss anything from me, make sure to subscribe. It really helps my channel. And if you enjoyed this, you might enjoy my video where I style 4 outfits starting with shoes. So I will leave that linked here and see you in the next one. Bye.